On the next episode of Arne Talk, we'll be joined by professional model and the newly crowned Miss Universe South Africa, Natasha Joubert. Stay tuned. We have a very beautiful guest for tonight. She's none other than the newly crowned Miss Universe South Africa, Natasha Joubert. How are you? You're so beautiful, Natasha.
Thank you. I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. My name is Arne. I'm from the Philippines. Thank you for this opportunity.
No, thank you for having me.
Yeah, I was just mesmerized with your beauty. By the way, first of all, congratulations on you being the new Miss Universe South Africa.
Thank you.
Has it sunken already in your mind that you will be competing for Miss Universe?
I think so, yes, because actually when I found out, I immediately started with prepping. So this is a full-time schedule where you constantly need to work on different areas. You know, there's so many facets and segments at Miss Universe. So we immediately jumped right into it. So, but it still feels unreal. It's such an honor and such a blessing. You know, South Africa has done incredibly well at Miss Universe this past few years. So it's truly an honor.
Indeed. Anyway, here's my next question. Currently, you're a public relations officer in a firm in your own country. Now, do you think how much of that profession of yours that you would like to bring about in the Miss Universe competition? Do you consider it as an advantage?
So it definitely helps a lot because I have seen clients on a daily basis where you have to work on that communication skills. And so currently there's a new update. I'm no longer working at as a public relations officer. I'm working for myself. I always used to work part-time with designing and fashion. And I actually started this year working for myself, building my company up. You need to be able to have that communication skills. You need to be able to interact with people.
So you would bring that aspect in the Miss Universe competition. That's actually an advantage from you.
I hope so. Let's see.
What we've learned from you is that you're a very adventurous woman. You love to play sports, you love camping and hiking, you love to travel as well. Now, what do you miss the most among all of those activities that I've mentioned, especially at this time of pandemic that all of our movements are limited?
I would have to say traveling because I still go on hiking, on weekends. And I actually just started traveling before lockdown came. And the last trip we did was Australia. And before that, we actually went to Thailand. And it's so funny because it was the year in 2018 when Miss Universe was held in Thailand. And I remember booking my flight tickets in that February of 2018. And I think it was around the July that Miss Universe informed the public that it's going to be held in Thailand. And I tried so hard to move my flight tickets, but I couldn't. So otherwise, I would have watched Cameron, walking live on the Miss Universe stage. So I would say traveling, there's so many countries still on my bucket list, and I actually can't wait for Miss Universe because obviously it's going to be in a different country.
You mentioned about Australia. So where did you go in Aussie?
So we actually went to Brisbane. There's some family there.
Brisbane.
Yes, and we went to the Gold Coast, we went to Toowoomba, we went to the Sunshine Coast, we went to Noosa. It was incredible. And there's so many aspects of Australia that I see in South Africa. It's the same climate, it's the same warmth of the people, and it's incredible to actually see that it's a completely different country, but yet you have so many similarities between the two countries.
There are. You're both in the South. And you have the same, I think, almost everything. If it's winter in Australia, it's also winter in South Africa.
Yes.
Just the same position in that part of the world. You also mentioned Thailand. What do you love most about Thailand?
To me, it was not something completely different. We went to Phi Phi Island where we went scuba diving, and that was actually my first time.
Mm-hmm.
And just to see like all the islands in Thailand, it's quite incredible because here in South Africa, obviously, it's not the same. And there were so many activities to do. We actually did jet ski on the sea, and we went to James Bond Island. So there's so many destinations that you can target when you are there. It's not only, in the central city that you have things to do, but on the coastal lines as well.
Because Thailand is very near the Philippines. They're just our neighbor.
I actually want to go to the
Now,
Philippines.
there's a chance for you, actually. We don't know. Moving on with our next question. This one is very important. Now, your father died 7 years ago, but in one of the write-ups that I have read about you, it was also your father that inspires you to pursue your dreams and ambitions in life. If your father is watching right now, what do you think he would like to tell you?
Surely, I believe he would have been proud of me. This is one dream that he has known about before actually passing away. And he didn't know what I want to study, what I wanted to become, but he knew that one day I want to be on that Miss Universe stage. So just completing that 8 years later, so this year it would be 8 years since he passed away. That was still a dream that we shared with one another. And surely I wish he was there. So I think he would be so proud. And he's actually a really big rugby fan. So I could just imagine him in the audience, like cheering on and screaming and, just being a proud parent.
He would have been so proud of you about it.
Thank you.
So here's my next question. Rethinking about beauty pageants, what major progress have made so far? Do you think there's a need to change how things are usually done in pageants? Why or why not?
I would say the past few years, things have been drastically changing into a better direction for women in general. There's so much more representation, there's so much more inclusivity, and just looking at our past 5 winners at Miss Universe, we see that representation. So I feel like we are moving in the right direction, and it takes a team effort. Every single year, there's so many countries going there to represent something specifically, and we know that for Zosie it was leadership, and it was people not seeing her natural hair as beautiful and showing people that you can be Miss Universe with that type of hair. For me, it's a different message. It's entrepreneurship. It's sustainability. It's knowing that your circumstances can't define you. And so to me, the platform has gotten so much more meaning. And I feel like when I entered Miss SA, it was actually such a good time, because when you look 10 years back, the pageant industry wasn't the same.
Have you spoken to the reigning Miss Universe? You mentioned her name earlier.
So I did a little bit, but not a lot. I actually had a chat, a FaceTime with Demi, where she helped me out a bit. And we really have supportive queens. Tamron and all of them were so supportive. And not a lot, but hopefully more to come.
Now, moving on to our next part of the show, which is the Q&A round. This will look like a beauty pageant setup. I prepared some questions for you. So here it is. I think you're ready for this one. The first question is, in all the efforts done by international communities against COVID-19, where do you think beauty queens can come in?
Well, many of them already came into play. When I think of many beauty queens, they aren't only beauty queens or title holders. They are medical doctors. They are frontline workers. So through that, they're already, stepping up, stepping forward, assisting. And actually, as you know, our Miss Supranational South Africa is a medical doctor, and she's working in frontline. And from what I've heard, it's so important for those doctors to actually be there. And so beauty queens are definitely multifaceted, and they are playing their part wherever they can. And for those who aren't frontline workers, such as myself, we can just actually make people aware, go on social media and actually just encourage people to practice the necessary precautions.
What is the moment in your life you would pick to change the lives of others?
So for me, actually, it was entering Miss South Africa. That was a moment that I picked to change other people's lives and to actually share my testimony and inspire people through that and, add that moral fiber to society. So for me, it was a personal experience. Obviously, losing my father at such a young age, I really had to fend for myself, sustain myself, and make it possible to study, to buy myself a car. And that is why I'm standing for entrepreneurship. And hopefully through that, I can change anyone's life to just show them that you aren't a product of your circumstances, that you are a product of your decisions.
Is social media bringing people together or causing relationship problems?
It depends on how you look at it. For me, sitting here without this, internet and social media, this interview wouldn't have been possible. Impacting and actually having that say in people's lives wouldn't have been possible if it wasn't for social media. So it's how you utilize it. It's how you use it, and just make sure that you're using it more in a positive aspect, and influencing people's lives for the better, and not using social media, for the negativity surrounded by it.
How does greed for power affect our world?
I think those people who greed for power, luckily, it's not something that's sustainable, and that you should actually greed for more compassion when you do have power, and not necessarily for more power. I think, especially now during COVID, it has taught us how to be more resilient with each other, to be more understanding, and to be more kind. So if you greed for something that would actually help you improve as a human being.
What should a person give to the world, and what should a person take away from the world?
So they always say you must always give your 10%, no matter in what way that is. And it's that one thing that says that you can't only expect, but you should return as well. So for me, it's giving to the world is all the good qualities we do have. Make sure that you actually use them and share them. And this is so amazing to actually sit here, to be able to go on such a big platform such as Miss Universe, to be able to do that, spread a message. And it doesn't have to be necessarily something in a monetary sense or materialistic sense. If it's something you can give, such as good quality, do that. And if there's something you can take away something that you can use in your future, and not necessarily only take away the bad things in life.
That was a very tough round, by the way.
Yeah,
Moving on with our next part, the fast talk.
Ooh.
Okay. Very quick. Okay, just very quick. One word that best describes you.
Compassionate.
Next question is, what movie line or a statement in the literature that caught your attention the most?
Does a final answer at Miss Universe count? Because then I would actually choose Aussies that says that we lack leadership, and that it's not necessarily something we choose, but that's what society has led us to. So that one is memorable to me and very, intertwined with what I stand for.
Who is your international celebrity crush?
I would say Pia Wurtzbach. You know what? Something that stands out from Pia to me is, that night of the Miss Universe finale, just the way she carried herself. She was placed in a position where she didn't win the crown, and the way that she carried herself was with so much respect, and it was kind of the epitome of being graceful. And when she won, it was just as good, and that just shows like the true queen.
What is your beauty tip?
Always keep hydrated, whether that's with moisturizer, water, working out, vitamin D. That's my beauty tip.
The world is watching right now. How will you promote South Africa to the rest of the world?
Ooh, South Africa doesn't only have a national flag with the most colors in it. I know not many people know that, but we've got 11 official languages, including actually 12 with sign language. We are so diverse in culture and tradition, and what we stand for. In South Africa, you get the best temperature. I think so many people know that because they come here for holidays. We've got a 7-world wonder, Table Mountain in Cape Town. And we are just a country that's so accepting and really tries to push forward in breaking stigmas and breaking standards right around the world.
Complete this sentence. I am Natasha Joubert, and I am
Miss Universe 2021.
Oh, we will believe in that. How is your preparation right now for Miss Universe?
It's a full-time job, I'm not going to lie. There is so many things we are working on and working really hard on. And, there's so many segments at Miss Universe. But not only that, when you go, it's being holistically ready, it's being mentally ready, it's being emotionally ready, it's being spiritually ready. There's so many parts aside from your walk and your dress. It's actually your well-being and your mental well-being. So it's also working on that, life coaching, accent training, physical training, going to the gym every single day. So I'm really looking forward to showcase that to the whole universe and to just show them that South Africans are there to fight hard and to represent every single person, not only in South Africa but right around the world.
Who are the candidates that there were already candidates right now being named and being crowned since last year, but who do you think among them that you'd like to meet as early as now? Or you like to know a friend, or you're interested about?
That's an interesting question, because there's so many of them. I'm not going to lie. There's not a specific contestant I would actually choose above another one. So I'm actually e-meeting. So like we are meeting now Miss Brazil Julia tonight, and I'm actually really excited. That would be the first Miss Universe delegate that I would meet tonight. So really excited. So it has to be her because it's tonight.
Okay.
I really just want to say thank you, and people need to know that we don't everything they do on social media doesn't go unnoticed, that we get on there and we see all these affirmations and support, and I really appreciate it. That's what keeps me going, and without you guys supporting our delegates, we wouldn't be where we are, and we wouldn't be as successful without you guys. So just thank you, and that I can't wait to share the rest of my journey with you guys, and I can't wait to tackle that Miss Universe stage. And yeah, it's going to be exciting.
We actually have a mutual friend, a common friend in South Africa. We talked about him earlier, and I promised to mention his name during this interview because we also did an interview with him last year. So Arne du Plessis. And then our regards to Arne du Plessis. He just came from Portugal.
Wow, lucky you back.
He represented your country in the Mr. World pageant in 2016. Okay, thank you so much for your time and for this opportunity. I'd like to thank the Miss South Africa organization for this opportunity given to us to have Miss Natasha Joubert with us tonight. Please support Natasha's journey in the Miss Universe pageant in 2021. So let's all cheer for her and the rest, and among the other candidates for the upcoming Miss Universe pageant. So thank you so much once again. As we say it here in the Philippines, maraming salamat.
Oh, that's hard. in South Africa, in my language, we say bye lang.
Maraming salamat.
Maraming salamat.
Oh, there you go.
That's right.
Thank you so much, Natasha. Thank you so much for your time. I'll see you in the Miss Universe pageant. Okay.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.